Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Building JKR's Wizarding World of Harry Potter with DragonflySara. That's me. Today's episode is primarily made possible by WorldEdit and MCEdit. The WorldEdit, I will give you a full tutorial in the video of what I used WorldEdit for today. MCEdit lagged severely on my machine. So instead of putting that in this tutorial with the WorldEdit, that would have made the video very long waiting for the computer to catch up. I've decided to show you MCEdit when we dig out the lake in the lake series coming up. Now, today we're putting in the edge of the Forbidden Forest or the Dark Forest. And canon information from the Harry Potter lexicon, my favorite source of canon material that I can verify, is it's described thick with trees of beech, oak, pine, and sycamore and yew. And it has undergrowth of knot grass and thorns, but there are paths, brooks, and some clearings. Focusing on just the edge, I was only concerned with the tree types. I was able to come up with about 27 custom trees off of planetminecraft.com that fit the rough description of these tree types. I ended up with some fir, some pine, oak, one tree that was just labeled huge tree, but very much looks like a sycamore. And then I made a couple of generic trees, and I'll make one more for you in the coming scene. I used MCEdit-Unified to put them up in mid-air in my testing world, where we will build that custom tree that we're going to build. And I will show you why I have them in mid-air a little bit and tell you all about that a little later on. So stay tuned, even if you're not into Harry Potter or my project. If you're trying to figure out how to use a schematic brush in single player, the schematic brush mod is a plugin only available on multiplayer servers. But I did figure out, through a little tweaking, how to get a similar situation in single player. And since I had to figure it out, I'm going to go with, there's not a readily accessible tutorial for it. So I hope you enjoy my effort to simplify your life. Okay, so here we are in my testing world. And we have 3 platforms with a bunch of trees floating between them. The upper platform and the lower platform help me to choose the selection for making a schematic. So I've placed another set here, and this middle platform is going to act as the ground where we build the tree. Okay, so we have a finished tree. Now, it's in the dark. We don't know what it's going to look like fantastically, but it should be okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use these platforms to select the area that the tree is in. We do not care how much air we get with it, because we can always choose not to paste air. So I'm going to select opposite corners on the bottom and the top. And this will give me the entire region. Unfortunately, it will also give me the sea lantern platforms on the top and bottom. And I'll show you how to fix that as soon as I make it up to the top of this. Boy, is this a long way up. Okay. So now if we contract our selection, contract 1 up, it's going to move the bottom of the selection up 1. removing the sea lanterns that are on the bottom platform. And then we contract one down, and it removes the sea lanterns on the top platform. By the way, the reason that this selection is so big is because when we paste it in with the brush, it pastes the center of it where we point. So we want the center to be the ground. When we go to do this differently, if we're like if we're pasting it in rather than brushing it in, we're going to want our copy location to be very specific, which is why I went up right against the tree to do that. Now, if we use schem //schem for schematic, save, and then a file name. I'm going to use tree. This is a medium-sized tree, I guess, for me anyway, so M. And it's got leaves on it. And I think this is the first one of this kind that I've done, so I'll hit yeah, it's the first one. So put the number 1 in there and hit enter. And it says tree ML1 saved. And now if we go to the schem list, you'll see that that is not the first one that I've saved. I've done a whole lot of them up till now. 6 pages worth. Yeah, 1 through 6. So that is, yeah. I've got a list of them in Excel with their heights and everything, so that I know what I'm playing with, what file I'm pulling up when I pull one up. So, that's how you create a tree schematic to use with the brushes in single player. And I'll be right back in our Hogwarts world to show you how to brush it in. Okay, we're going to attach 30 trees, 9 at a time, to brushes in WorldEdit. In order to do this, the first thing I had to do was change the brush size, because our schematics are 163 meters tall. I needed a brush size bigger than 6, obviously. So I changed the brush size by finding my instances folder in my curse folder. It took me a little while to find it. After I found the instance I was using, I was able to find the config folder, and then inside that there's a WorldEdit folder. Inside that folder is worldedit.properties. And if you open that in a text editor, you could use Notepad, Notepad++. I used VS Code. There's a line for max brush size, and you can change it from 6 to whatever you want. And that didn't break it, so that's very nice. Then I sorted the trees by height in my spreadsheet, and we're going to paste the tallest ones first and put the smaller ones where we have gaps, because it's supposed to be a very dense forest. Finally, I had to thaw the ground. So what I found is that if I pasted a tree over here on the snow, it pasted it 1 block above the ground because it counted the snow layer as a block. And if I pasted it just on the ground, it worked perfectly. So I have thawed the forest edge using the forest waypoints. I turned all my forest waypoints on, and then thawed the edge of the forest all the way from the wall to the lake. And we're going to use that as the line for placing trees. We're going to try to fill this entire area with trees. That'll give us a nice border. Okay, so to create the brush, first we need to load the schematic, and we do that with / or / schem or schematic, if you want to type it out. Load, and then the name. The first one we're doing is Tree Pine 6. Now what this did is it loaded it onto our clipboard so we could now paste it. But instead of pasting it, we're going to slash brush, BR, clipboard, -A. So that puts our clipboard on our brush as a brush, and it pastes everything except air. And now you'll see if we put the first tree right here at the edge, ta-da! The tree is in. Now you notice the custom tree is a lot taller than regular trees, and that's why I'm using custom trees. And I want to do sporadically, but I want each brush to be a different tree. So I do it again. / schem load, and the second one is tree pine 3. And so we go over here. Oh, that didn't work because I haven't put it on a brush yet. Don't forget that step. Brush. In fact, you can just brush clipboard -A, and that one goes there. And you'll notice that that one is different from that one. But if we go way over here somewhere and tell it that one is the, should be, uh-oh. Okay. That, my tutorial that I watched told me that that would be, yeah, that tree is this tree, not that tree. Let me do it close up so that you can see. I'll do it right here and then undo it. See, that one is that one, not that one. So it updated this brush, but not this one. It updated the shovel, not the hoe. And then, of course, if you put one where you don't want it, you can just undo, and it takes it back out. All right, give me a moment, and I'll be back. I'm just going to make all of these brushes different. Okay, so as we fly along here, I will just change my brush every so often, or change my brush and place a tree every so often along here. Run into the trees I'm creating as I do that, of course. Okay, so there's our first group of trees. We've placed 9 different types of trees sporadically around here. And if we pull up our map, you see the denser foliage along the line. Now all I have to do is put 9 more brushes on and go back through again. And of course, the final collection of brushes will be even more popular because they will be the ones where I'm really filling in the holes. But I want to do it by being above the tree line like this, and I'm going to go around, and where I see air, or where I see grass, I'm going to put new trees in. North. I went in about 15 meters, that area of snow that was gone, just enough to say, hi, this is the edge of the dark forest. We'll be filling in the forest completely after we've, in the Dark Forest series, after we've built Aragog and Grop and the Centaur clearing and a whole bunch of other stuff that goes into the forest. Just a quick clarification. I believe earlier in the video I mentioned that I wasn't going to give a tutorial on making trees because I'm going to be building the Whomping Willow in a video later. That video is going to come much later in this series because I'm having a tweak of a problem with the coding with chunk loads for the animation of the Whomping Willow. So it's going to come much later in the series, but next time we're going to put in the walls and the road. I know that sounds a bit mundane, but we're going to make it interesting because of, well, you'll see. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you like my channel, be sure to subscribe. And check me out on Planet Minecraft. It's planetminecraft.com. Username as always, DragonflySara. See you next time.